good?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm
I
gonna have
guess.
to boost you afterwards.
You're gonna have to boost me. Okay.
Looks like you're gonna
Maybe I
the
need to
boost-
get a better voice. Maybe I can go get it swapped out somewhere. Maybe
Nah.
get like a Morgan Freeman style voice.
No, you're perfect right now. Actually, this is great. Yeah.
It would sound more impressive on the podcast.
Huh?
Just having like a Morgan Freeman style voice.
Is this?
Now and
You're not even like 5 seconds into the podcast, and you're already like inviting someone famous.
Oh no, not this time, man.
Have you
We're
done
gonna-
already? Have you done
I
already?
mean, I'm
Morgan?
gonna wait 30 minutes before I invite someone to come on the podcast, man. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it from Jump Street.
Yes. I mean, Morgan
mean,
Freeman needs to get a taste.
I already
of,
invited him, dude. He didn't respond.
yeah, I think Morgan is slightly more busy than maybe.
I don't think he is, man.
No.
No.
Why? Because he's black.
Yeah. No. No. I don't. I mean, I really don't know what he's doing, but I mean, like acting wise, I don't think he's very busy right now because he
Oh.
hasn't been in anything recently, has he?
You know what I heard
What's that?
about acting? So I was listening to something about the Colosseum, the thing in Italy, in Rome. So they built that in 8 years.
The Roman Coliseum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. And then
Yeah, oh, yeah.
they had like things in there happening besides the gory, terrible stuff.
Yeah.
They had things happening in there which for the time is comparably really good to the stadiums that we have these days, like the service that we provide.
Yeah.
But what I found super interesting is because you mentioned actors. So they had tiers, right? So you know how we have like
Yeah.
luxury boxes for rich people.
Yeah.
People like the famous people could sit by the box by the what would you call the basketball court? It's a court. by the court?
Yeah, it's a court.
So the king has the box.
Yeah. The box seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The senators and stuff can bring their own kind of flip chairs kind of situation, which by the time at the time was pretty substantial.
Well, it was just people at the time.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
but-
just bring people, and that's the chair for the.
Well, yeah, no, bringing your own chair used to be considered like a luxury thing.
Yeah. It's because
And
you could
there-
afford your own chair.
Yeah. So right next to the arena
Yeah.
is so this like higher ups, right?
Yeah.
And citizens can go into, even slaves can. You know
Yeah.
who couldn't? Grave diggers
Yeah.
and actors, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not coming in. Acting was considered to be like a profession below slavery.
Yes.
Shocking.
In the Roman era, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It gained more prominence during like the Renaissance era,
Yeah.
where it became, if you were an actor, then you were. That's when it became like a status.
Yeah. Thanks to the Shakespeare.
So the moral of the story is that if you have a lawn chair, you're like a senator. So that's the moral of that story.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
So there you go, rednecks.
Why are you making a PSA to rednecks only?
Because
This podcast is inclusive. It's for everybody.
Only rednecks on lawn chairs, dude.
I have lawn chair.
Are you a redneck?
I'm
Dude,
inside.
have you been keeping this?
I'm lar-
I'm gonna leave.
I'm LARPing as a
I'm gonna
black
leave
dude.
and you pull a piece of straw out, put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I've been LARPing as a black dude. This has been just an elaborate
Take
ruse.
off you're gonna Scooby Doo me and pull me off pull off a mask,
You know-
Mr. Jenkins.
The only movie that worked was someone sort of changing their appearance. Miss Doubtfire, maybe. Do you know the Wayne Brother movie?
Oh,
What
I
was that
gotta
movie?
tell you something about that because I that's funny you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because I saw something yesterday. It was about the kid who played the son in the Mrs. Doubtfire. He would go and talk to Robert after they're done shooting,
Uh-huh.
and he was so depressed when he was off stage.
Who? Robert?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that role took such a toll on him.
Really?
Acting, yeah.
You think
like-
it was the role, or I think? It was just-
I don't know what the factors are. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, from what the guy was saying, it seems like the role.
Interesting.
It was like night and day when he was off stage. Robin Williams was just like in his own room, and the kid was like, "I just want to go run this by him to see if he'll like it," and
Yeah.
like he was just head in hands, like elbows on the table, just
Yeah. I mean, they do say, and I follow a lot of stand-up comedians, especially in that sort of Theo Vaughn,
Yeah.
Tom Segura kind of circle. And the thing that they all say about themselves, and I'm not saying this about them, they do say you have to be sort of fucked up in a couple of ways, especially your background, for you to be like genuinely funny almost.
Yeah.
Like you cannot have zero trauma and still find
Well, I mean, that's
humor.
why Kevin Hart became so popular so fast, because his first stand-up comedy special was what? Laugh at My Pain. That was the title of it.
I have a hot take about Kevin Hart.
Yeah, what's that?
He's not funny.
Not anymore. I thought he was funny early on.
Yeah.
And then, well, I mean, it's like you can only do the same thing for so long before it's just like it's not really funny anymore.
The
Like,
cadence, you mean? Like the delivery?
Like
yeah.
All right, we get it, Kevin. Everybody laughs at you because you're short.
So kind of tired, tropey kind of joke. Yeah.
So I mean, it was funny for when he was first coming up.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
And then after that, not so much.
Just kind of
Like when it's weird because it's around the time where he blew up, where he stopped becoming funny.
Yeah.
Like I think the last funny thing that he did that I actually thought was genuinely funny was the Real Husbands of Hollywood, which was a parody of Real Housewives. But it was him and his friends, just the problems that rich men have to deal with or whatever.
Yeah.
It was comical.
You're like, that's
But
relatable.
It's not relatable. That's what makes it funny.
know.
It's because you're like there's no relation to it. It's just bad things happening to Kevin Hart, and it's just hilarious.
For me, it's just, if you ask me, like, tell me a quintessential kind of Dave Chappelle joke, or Bill Burr, or Louis C.K. I have like 15.
Oh yeah, Bill Burr's fucking hilarious. Dude.
I know.
And Bill Burr can tell the same joke 50 times, and it'll be just as funny
Exactly.
every fucking time.
I don't know if it's like a comedic genius or delivery, cadence, or just material.
I don't know. It's probably a mix of a bunch of those things.
For me, it's like it's between Chappelle and Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, we both agree funny is subjective. You find something.
Yeah, I mean, I like Louis C.K. He's in the top 5 for me.
Yeah.
But my top 2 are Chappelle and Burr.
Yeah, top 3 for me, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
between those
like
three.
Chappelle's
guys.
number 1. Like that, no matter what, that dude just makes me laugh.
And we both love.
And I've heard like his stand up a million times, like Sticks and Stones. I've watched that so many times.
Yeah.
Still makes me laugh just as hard.
Yeah, it's
the
pretty
first
funny.
time I heard it.
He has almost transcended comedy for me.
Yeah, dude. Like it's just like I can just see him on stage.
Yeah.
I just be like,
exactly. He doesn't need to do like a hacky joke. Yeah.
He doesn't even need to say
love
anything.
that
You just
guy, dude.
stand up there for an hour. And I'm like,
I know. It's one of those things, right? For me, Louis C.K. does the same thing for me. Bill Burr sometimes kind of takes me
Bill
out.
Burr has to tell jokes, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Bill Burr seems the kind of guy I could just sit and have like a beer with.
Yeah, because he's like
he's
a real
he's
dude.
like a chill fucking guy.
Yeah, he's a real dude. He likes it. Like he is so average Joe in so many ways.
Yeah.
He's like, I like helicopters. I'm gonna go out and do it just because he has the means. Wants to do that.
Yeah.
You know he flies helicopters, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does.
Didn't know that. Yeah.
He wanted to do that. I heard him talk about it because he was making a joke about the zombie apocalypse or something. He's like, that's the perfect getaway vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, oh, motherfuckers on the ground. I'm like,
Yeah, it'll knock him away. Boom.
no, just getting off there, like getting out of Dodge.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like
with the propeller kind of
the
thing.
propeller, like they already can't move fast, so it's just like they're gonna people have to stagger
Dude,
towards
you're
it.
taking it to the other level. You're already thinking
I'm thinking
where's the
everything
utility
practically.
in flying
I'm
a
thinking
helicopter?
all the utility about this, man.
Dude, I got bit twice by mosquitoes or something. Our studio situation needs to be figured
Yeah,
out.
well, we need to do it. We need to run a space, man.
I mean, this is chill,
Yeah, it is chill,
but
it's nice out here.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
Especially since summer's coming, dude. It's gonna be hot as fuck.
We're gonna run the fans. Maybe get some ice out here.
Yeah.
Cooler,
Swamp coolers.
Yep. We're gonna redneck it, dude.
Yeah, redneck, dude. Swamp
Actually,
coolers aren't that bad.
if we do take a walk down that road,
Yeah.
There's a park. I forget the name. We went down and checked it out. Like we're gonna do an outdoors episode. It's gonna be pretty by the river.
Let's say like Teddy, not to spoil the
Oh no, location.
not to ruin the ambiance here, but we're already outside.
Well,
Every
this is-
episode we've done is an outdoor.
Well, this is a
episode.
covered patio, so it's
Yeah.
different. That one is gonna be by nature, dude.
Yeah, by nature.
Yeah, but I want to tell you something about Robin Williams before I forget.
Yeah.
I heard his depression sort of set in towards the end when he had obviously got diagnosed with dementia, I believe. Started forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
And his entire identity for that guy is like his lines, you know, like
Yeah.
the jokes he tells.
Yeah.
For him to forget that, I can imagine it being a super lonely place.
Oh
in
yeah,
his
because
head.
that's like if that's how you see yourself, right?
Yeah.
You lost yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who recently used the D word, depression.
The D word.
The D word.
Like you can't say it with a hard N.
I wouldn't know. Say depression with a yeah. That's still not a hard N. Yeah.
I know. I'm just
Yeah, it's interesting to me how there's you come to a part of your life where you can maybe at least retrospectively see a part of your life where you've been depressed.
yeah. I mean, I have. I've been that way.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's good to not be afraid of the word. You know.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm less so now. You know, dying has a habit of curing depression.
You know, we need to just say that out without context. It's gonna freak a lot of people.
Yeah,
out.
well, I mean, yeah, not condoning suicide, but like when you die and you come back, it has a
Yeah.
it's a sobering experience.
Chris is, without context, referring to the situation where he was clinically declared to be
Yeah, I was dead for 3 minutes.
gone. What'd you see on the other side, buddy?
I am not telling you, man. Not.
This is the only
That
NDE.
is not up for discussion.
It's the only NDE that's gonna be like, I'm
Yeah.
not telling.
Yeah, I'm
Everybody's
not.
like, oh,
That's my non-disclosure there, man. I don't talk about that. It just wasn't good. I was in a coma,
yeah,
and it felt like a lifetime. I felt like I
Mm.
was in there for like 30, 40 years,
yeah,
and I came out of it, and coming out of the coma felt surreal. It felt like a trick, and then it was real. At least I hope it's real, because I mean, shit, I'm still in the coma then.
No, I'm a
It's
figment
not.
of your imagination, dude.
Yeah.
You're still down
I
there,
just-
buddy.
Figment of my imagination is an Ethiopian guy.
Could you imagine? The Matrix has found like the most elaborate simulation for you.
I don't even think I gotta conjured up anything like you, Titty.
Yeah, no, that's how you know you're real. Because
Yeah,
there's no way.
yeah, but it was not a nice place to be.
Yeah,
It was torture, and then I came out of it. But like, yeah, that you lose a lot of fear of things afterwards.
Mm.
And I've only know this because I talked to another person we used to work with. His name's Larry,
Mm.
and he had a similar experience to me, but his wasn't. I don't think his was as bad, because at least he was able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have a good time either. It was not a good thing to be in the coma. It was a nightmare for him, and but it was a sobering moment for him too. Like
Is it a sensation of being, and you clearly don't have to say about it in detail, but is it a sense of maybe feeling physically entrapped? Or just is it the sheer substantial time?
Well, because in my mind I didn't feel physically trapped.
Mhm.
Like at first it was, but I was walking around in my mind,
Yeah.
so I wasn't constrained.
Mhm.
There was times where I would come out of it and I could hear my mom and people talking. I felt when they cut and put the central line in me, and like that's why when I came out of it,
Mhm.
it felt like a trick, because
Mm.
like those times when I was lucid,
Yeah.
but I couldn't open my eyes, I couldn't see, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move. Those times I felt constricted.
Yeah.
And
And you couldn't articulate what you were.
I couldn't articulate it, but then I'd go back in.
Yeah.
To the nightmare escape
Yeah.
that is my brain,
Yeah.
and then I would be back there for X amount of time before I'd come back out again, and it would.
And
it
that
came,
time is not 1-to-1 to real time,
yeah,
right?
but
It's
it came to a
different.
part where like I at first I didn't know who I was in there.
Mm.
I didn't know. I had no name.
When you were
for-
under, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
when I was under, I had no name. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know why I was where I was, and I was just like there, a blank slate. It was terrible.
Yeah, one of the largest studies done into NDEs, like near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
There is some medical explanation to like an endogenous dump of a dimethyltryptamine, DMT kind of situation,
Yeah.
where you could sort of have a bad versus a good trip.
Yeah.
Either way, right?
Yeah.
So that experience of, because there is definitely the nurture of your life, like how religious you've been,
Yeah.
however you've been dealing with the world, sort of informs whatever that experience is going to be.
Yeah.
So the religious tend to be like, especially people that have been theists their whole life, tend to have this deeply, profoundly religious experience, like seeing, like touching the beard of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for you, I guess it became sort of what every man sort of aspires to be, which is freedom versus not being free,
Yeah.
being able to speak your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It was hell, man. It was a nightmare. And
were you religious, would you say, before that?
no.
You've never been too into that crap, right?
No, well, I mean, I was baptized Catholic when I was younger, but it wasn't because I wanted to. It's because my parents wanted me to.
You could have been a pope.
Could have been a pope.
So what a wasted potential.
Pope passage, dude.
Has a good ring to it.
No, I was I didn't find religion again until about 5-ish years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't think that had anything to do with it?
No, no.
Yeah. Do you know Richard Hammond from the Top Gear? Now, the three guys, British guys. It's a British car show.
No, I don't.
They have another show called Grand Tour now.
Yeah, no.
Richard Hammond got into multiple accidents, and the last one, the pretty bad one that he was in, he was in a coma for a couple of days. He made a YouTube video of the experience that he had.
Yeah.
He speaks something similar to yours, where he was obviously walking to a place that he actually recognizes in real life.
Yeah.
And that it took like his wife's voice to sort of bring him back, because he can feel things were going pretty wrong. Like this is not a good place to be.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. We our understanding of a human consciousness is so infantile right now. It's crazy, the things that we don't understand. Do you think is that why maybe you're not fazed by a lot of negative things in life?
Well, I mean, like, no. I mean, this stuff's been happening to me my entire life, man.
But
so
you seem to not be bothered by a lot of bad stuff.
Well, like, you can't let it keep you down, because if you do, then you're stagnant. If you're not continuously moving, then you just rot and die in that spot. So, like,
but
from an early age,
but you're still dealing with just that moment.
Yeah. I've dealt with it. I just don't like talking about it.
Yeah.
But like, so from an early age, I was in oxygen tents when I was a young kid because I have weak lungs.
They're strong now, though.
Yeah, I still have weak lungs.
No, they're strong now.
They're stronger, yeah, but they're still weak. They killed me, man. They're the one that caused my death. But so I've been dealing with that my entire life. I've had chronic asthma since being a baby, so I've been held back by that. And then it's also like, all right, well, you can't do all this stuff. I pushed through it. I played sports. I played soccer. I played football.
Basketball.
Basketball, not like on a team, but like recreationally.
Yeah.
I played basketball. But I played soccer on a team. I played football on a team. And I was tiny. I was like itty bitty. I was like just the weight of skin strapped over bones. That was literally what I was when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't start putting on weight till I was in my mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And then
I just want to say to people that cannot see Chris, he's been very successful in that regard.
Yeah. I'm a chubber.
Yeah.
And then in my early to mid 20s, I went blind. I had cataracts. I had a rare form of cataracts where the lens in my eye liquefied. I think it was due to prednisone, which is a steroid I was on for my asthma. So that ended up taking away my eyesight, and I was blind for 6 months.
Yeah.
And
which is a rare medical mystery, by the way.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, and then like I was sad about that for like a day. I was just like, well, I mean, well, it's like, what are we gonna do?
But
I,
you see how that is
yeah.
shockingly. So your ability to cope with,
yeah,
for example, a tremendously horrible news of potentially you could not ever be able to see would probably break a lot of people. And I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah.
And I trust your word when you say I was down about it for a day.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you do stuff like that since I knew you.
Yeah. So like I was down like a day.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was around a whole day. And then I was just like, fuck it. Went with my wife. I'll go for walks, man. Like blind. Completely blind. Because I had to stay with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my job, lost my apartment.
Yeah.
I had to stay with my mom. So I was blind,
and you're like, at least I can walk.
I would be blind. I couldn't see. I could see the way I could see if someone was in front of me, but I could never tell who they were.
Okay, you can't make out details.
Everybody was a silhouette,
so
there would be a shadow, but I couldn't make out things. Like if I was
what you're describing is cataract.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So everybody was like, but my cataract was rare because normally a cataract just is a fracture of your lens in your eye. Mine liquefied. So I was completely blind, and like sunlight hurt my eyes. I had to wear sunglasses all the time, and so I had 3 surgeries. They fixed my left eye first, and then I had a retinal detachment. So then they had to go in and fix the retinal detachment, and then they went and fixed my right eye.
Yeah,
and then after that, I don't need to wear glasses to see long. I'm farsighted now instead of nearsighted.
Yeah.
Now I need to wear reading glasses like an old person to read things up close. And then so it's like you can't let this stuff keep you down. Like there's setbacks in life and you can either let it break you or strive you to just keep pushing through.
Yeah.
But
you see there's a difference between somebody saying those words.
Yeah.
And actually living them. And for me, so here's my exercise, right? And just sort of bringing up this, not necessarily the happiest moments of your life, obviously, because there is a lesson to be learned for me. Because I've seen moments where I was like, that would upset me, dog.
Oh,
and you're like, I mean, why? And for me, it's sometimes it's like, is he maybe comparing? Because there are some moments for me which I find to be upsetting, and I have to rationalize them and say, compared to the moment of mortality, and it takes the idea of death and the end of time and end of experience for me to actually not be overly sort of reacting to some situations, and to sort of find my bearing. But for you, it's like automatic. You're like, Teddy, this happens.
Yeah. Well, it's like, when you kind of put me on a pedestal for that, like a little bit, and to me, these things weren't hard to do.
Yeah, I believe
I got just pushed forward to onwards because like my coping mechanism is humor, so I just make jokes about it.
Yes, that's healthy.
Yeah,
super healthy. Yeah.
So like when I died and I came back and made a World of Warcraft joke, it's okay. I was soul stoned.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, soul stone is something that you can put on another player. So if they die, they can resurrect themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I just make jokes about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, my uncle's the same way. My Uncle Brad, like he got 3 of his fingers chopped off. He used to work at a paper mill. Makes jokes about it. I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't let it hold you back. I mean, I think I get that maybe from him because he's always been that way.
Were you too close?
When I was younger, he's like my older brother. Because I'm the oldest of my moms, and he's only a few years older than me, so he was like my older brother. And then I kind of lost that when we moved to Texas because we got separated, and I didn't understand like the ramifications of that at the time because he was upset about us moving because my dad was in the military, so we didn't really have a choice.
Yeah,
but he was upset, and I was like, I didn't understand why. Because he used to give me a hard time, you know. I was like, I don't understand why you're going to miss me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I get it. Because I gave my brothers a hard time the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I've always been, I mean, it's truly inspirational for me. I like that kind of quality in people. Obviously, people that are okay with self-deprecating jokes, people that see humor. And there are topics that you and I both agree are not fit for humor, and we typically don't make fun of those things. But it's good.
Dude,
Most things you can make fun
I
of.
think everything. Everything should be made fun
I
of.
think that's the better side to be on than someone that
Yeah.
says nothing should be
Yeah.
made fun of.
Well,
Everything is
I
sacred.
mean, like, so if you do that, it's like either everything's okay or nothing's okay. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I'd
It's
rather
better
go
to be on the
side
other
where
side.
Everything's okay.
Yeah,
It might
it's
be in bad taste. Jokes might be in bad taste. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of jokes that are.
Yeah.
But I mean,
9 times out of 10, that's better.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than the alternative
Mm.
than not being able to make fun of it.
So I guess it comes down to the people that were around you that seem to have the same attitude.
Yeah, like my
Mm.
Uncle Brett has had the similar
Yeah.
attitude to that.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He listens to the podcast.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Thank you, Uncle Brett.
Yeah.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah, he listens
Yeah.
he listens to the podcast. Yeah, he just texted me before we started. He's like, "Are you guys doing the podcast today?" I was like,
That's
"Yeah,
pretty
we're gonna
nice.
have 2 episodes up."
Well, shout out to your uncle. We
Yeah.
appreciate him. Yeah, I mean, it's. I know you say pedestal, and you don't think you probably deserve that kind of thing, but I truly find this kind of inspiring.
I mean, I can see where people would find it admirable stoicism. I mean, because a
It's a
lot of
good-
people lack stoicism nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, people like we're in the culture of where everybody wants to be a victim, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like why?
Yeah. This is the perfect.
tumbleweed.
This is the perfect.
Yeah. It was just
By the way,
bag.
the mics probably did not pick it up.
No, probably
Yeah.
not. So I'm just laughing at nothing to everybody else. But a plastic bag just awkwardly slid across the ground.
Yeah, the
It
plastic
was
bag
just funny.
Chris brought to the outside studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we live in a culture where it's just like people want to be the victim.
Mm.
Like they want to be, but not want to be. You know, it's a weird.
I
mix.
know what you mean.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're like, oh, I'm a victim. Feel bad for me. Give me my oppression points.
Whose impression is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just being a whiny person. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens. I mean, our people like. Here's the thing. You know what we used to do back in the day? If there was someone you didn't fucking like,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't talk to them.
Yeah.
That's literally it. If someone said something that you didn't like or you didn't agree with, you just didn't talk to that person
Yeah.
anymore. You stopped associating yourself with it. Same
Yeah.
thing with TV shows. If there's a
Mhm.
TV show you didn't like, you just didn't watch it. You didn't go and demand that it be taken down because some guy said something off kilter and you don't agree with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
But what about the reviews, Chris? You got to put in the reviews.
well, I mean, the reviews are fine. Like reviewing something's fine,
Yeah.
but like if there's something like
I was being glib.
like I know, but it's like if there's a TV show that you don't like, you just don't watch it.
Yeah.
That's simple as that. You don't have to go and throw a fit about it.
Mhm.
Just don't watch it. Like
Yeah.
people are being canceled, losing their livelihoods.
Mhm.
Just don't watch it.
A good healthy dose of stoicism is probably what we all need.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, people need to be a little bit less brittle. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what is like this country has turned into. Everybody's so brittle, so
Yeah.
soft. They can't take. Like, I mean, if you look at any, like even in politics, man, like you
Mm.
see these Congress hearings, and these people cannot even answer questions because that question is too offensive.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really isn't.
Yeah, that has been dealt with years ago. I mean, some conversations I guess get recycled, but people have told these people, they've told them off already. They've told them, yeah, you saying something is offensive is almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
It is immaterial to the conversation we're having because that's a personal feeling of you, which nobody has no control
But
over.
yeah, now
except
they
you.
want policy made on feeling.
Yeah.
No, that never works out well.
Mm. No, it does not.
If someone ran to Congress and passed a law every time their feelings were fucking
Mhm.
hurt,
Shit.
like
Yeah.
eventually, if this maintains, right,
Mhm.
we're gonna live in a society where, for one, this won't happen. We won't be able to do this podcast.
Mm-mm.
We won't be able to even talk to anybody else of risk of being fined or sued or imprisoned
Prosecuted, yeah.
for speech, because everybody's just going to go through life not saying anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of world I want to live in. I
No.
like talking to people.
Language is our operating system.
Yeah.
If we don't do it, if we don't have a discourse like this,
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes
there's a
offensive.
reason why when people are stranded,
Yeah.
they talk to themselves constantly.
Mhm.
It's because they don't want to forget words.
Correct.
And I see, when I worked in the prison system, I used to see this all the time
Yeah.
because I used to work in solitary sometimes.
Mm.
The guys would just be sitting there in the corner all by themselves.
Mhm.
And if there's no one within shouting distance of them, they
Mm.
would just sit there and talk to themselves.
Yeah, I've heard something about that.
Because when you're in isolation like
Yeah.
that, it's like
It's
you want to hear
maddening.
words. You want to hear words, even if they're your own words.
Yeah.
You want to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, people skip over that scene from The Count of Monte Cristo, the Chateau d'If.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was 16, 12 years or 14 years, whatever. People forget that he was just by himself for like what, the first 4 or 6? And the only voice he would
Yeah.
hear is like once a year. And I'm only mentioning this because I saw the movie again for God knows how many
I've
times.
only seen it once.
It's pretty awesome movie.
Yeah,
But I'm seeing more of those moments like which feel superhuman, where they wanted you to first notice it, but you probably just
yeah,
sort of
you probably
glanced
glossed over
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And then right now, but I'm seeing like, oh my God, what does that do to a man's psyche?
It does a lot, man.
Yeah,
It does a lot. I mean, I because I've seen the effects, not me personally, because I've never
yeah,
been.
when you were in
Well, I
prison.
mean, I felt isolated for a long time, but I wasn't. But
yeah,
like the
that physical isolation.
yeah,
that you
the
saw.
physical isolation,
Yeah.
it takes a toll on your psyche.
Should do. Yeah.
It really does.
Sure
Like,
did. Yeah, I in any case, the only person that I know who has similar attitude towards life like you
yeah,
is someone that I've read about in a book. They're a character.
Superman.
Yeah. No, the thing.
No, I'm just kidding. Ah, damn it.
Well, honestly, but it took one very critical thing, which is someone that have contemplated their mortality, consciously making choices in terms of from that reference point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to take even that for you. You just seem to have an attitude of honest attitude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just
Of,
like
yeah, it's
any situation you're currently in could always be worse.
yeah, because but you're not saying you're not necessarily saying sort of I could have been worse. This is the best scenario. You're saying this is what it is.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
which
this
is a
what it is. And
totally
this,
different
you
thing,
got-
yeah.
This is now the hand I'm dealt.
yeah.
I can't fold,
Mm-hmm.
or I can, and then that's it. Like if you fold, the game's over. Like
Yeah.
all the chips are gone.
Mm.
So if you fold on this, you're done.
Yeah.
So you've got, and I've been in that situation so many times in my life where I've lost everything that I've owned,
Yeah.
and I've had to regain it all back. It's happened so many times.
Yeah.
So when like I've said this before, appreciate what you have.
Mm.
I appreciate every single thing I have, down to the spoons in my drawer.
Yeah.
I appreciate them.
I believe you. I believe you because that one time you kind of started a fight over a spoon.
Yeah. My spoon.
Not my spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate everything I have. Like I really do. From like I appreciate my wife and everything that she does for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate the people in my life. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I mean,
I come after his wife, the spoon, and
Yeah, you come
his
after
family.
you come. Well, the wife. Well, the spoon comes before the wife. You know, it's like the spoon was there
Oh,
first.
oh my god.
The spoon was there first.
Yes.
I've been with that spoon the long. No, my wife is obviously number one.
Yeah. I believe you. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool, really, really not just cool, but I see a lot of utility in this kind of attitude.
Yeah, I mean, if
Um,
more people had, if more people had
Yeah.
even a close similar attitude,
Yeah.
I think the world would be better for it.
Yeah, and not to harp on this, but I think I just want to say it. I think I actually consider this to be different than what people traditionally call having a hard skin. Like I see some difference in that. Yours seems to be a thought process, not
Mhm.
really saying like being okay with pain and misery.
Yeah.
You just know a way to. You just try and see a way out of those situations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
and
can
not really feeling.
you
sorry
can
for
make your
yourself.
situation better.
and not feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to falter and have moments where you're just like,
Correct.
man, like this shit sucks.
Yeah. Why me?
Yeah.
It's okay. To have
Yeah.
those
It's okay
moments.
to pity yourself a little bit. Don't stay there.
Correct. Yeah.
You like, you can stay there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, you got to get out of it. Like it's a pit stop.
Yeah.
It's just like when we lost this episode, you got upset. Like the episode 4.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's okay. But just
That's what I'm
just
saying.
shoot it.
Yeah. And I wanted to hate you.
You're like, I'm mad about this. Be mad with me.
And you're like, yeah, we'll make up for it. It's okay. But you see, this is why I want to take like a good portion of this podcast to speak about like our attitudes towards things in life,
Yeah. I mean,
about life and death and moments, time itself. I think these are good conversation stuff because the attitude that you have, I think, is a good teaching moment.
yeah.
I think,
Yeah. I mean, I know too many people who they think that the roadblocks that most of the time they put themselves up in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
they're insurmountable. But you put the roadblock up, you can take it down.
Yeah.
You can take it down. And if there's other roadblocks, there's ways to get. There's other roads. There's a block on this road. Take another road. Take a detour.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
ways to get to where you want to be.
I'm going to get ahead of you and introduce your book, which is going to come out in 5 years. So it's going to be a self-help book
Yeah,
written by
self-help
Chris,
book,
edited by Teddy. And it's
I
gonna
died and came back.
That's not a catchy
No, it's not.
title. It's got to be.
you
No,
can-
there's
we'll come up with a
another
title.
one. You're the title guy. You write everything on for the podcast. Come on, come up with a better one.
I'd have to think on it, man. I
It
can't.
might be the Jack Daniel watermelon punch in front of me.
Drank too much of the Jack Daniel's watermelon punch.
Nah,
dude.
he's not drinking too much. He's got like a tiny little thing
No,
that he's
it's
sipping on.
it's 4.8% alcohol, man.
Yeah.
It's
You're like,
nothing.
I laugh at this.
I laugh at this. This
Yeah.
is water to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
In any case, I thought that was warranted that we talked about it because I've always found it interesting.
Yeah.
About
I
that.
mean,
The closest I've ever come to your experience in terms of like being critically ill
Yeah.
or maybe being close. Well, it's an African story, so there's malaria involved.
Of course.
Which
I mean, what good African story doesn't have malaria involved?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's how you know it's a good one,
Yeah,
right?
you did. All the good African stories have malaria.
So malaria, you're like, ooh, it's gonna be a good
Yeah.
ride. Anyway, like I had it 3 times without treatment. Obviously,
Yeah.
you could
You had
potentially
malaria
die.
3 times.
3 times.
Jeez. Dude.
Well, if there is 2 types,
did you
so
go roll in the malaria pool?
So that's
Like-
not how it works, right? So you have 2 types. You have a Vivax and a falciparum type. The Vivax one, you could actually keep getting it because the parasite stage is going to be in your liver forever.
Yeah.
Unless you can take some medications like Primakin to get rid of it,
Yeah.
but they have to do some G6PD test, which is a complicated genetic test, which we'd never had back home.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to test it once I got here. But if you have that deficiency, you can take that medication to get rid of it for good. So if you get immunocompromised, like skip a meal or something,
Mhm.
you get it because the parasite sort of gets activated
Yeah.
from your spleen and liver, dude. So the 3 times I got pretty sick, and mind you, it's the Americans that are giving us medications back home.
Yeah.
The last medication they gave us called quinine, which by the way is banned in America. The last time they used it is to test some cardiac rhythm issue
Oh yeah.
way back in the early
60s.
2000s. Yeah,
The
2000s
60s.
actually. But it's no longer used. I don't
Yeah.
think so. Not in formal medicine.
But it
That's
saved
the
you,
last
man.
medication they gave us, which is not resistant. So that's the only thing that could actually save you.
Yeah.
If I never had that, I could have died.
Yeah.
The last time I had it, I had both the Vivax and the falciparum, which actually means it got reactivated. Plus, I also got fresh bitten by
Mosquito.
a mosquito. So that one almost took it out of me. And I was med school for that one,
Yeah.
year 1. I remember trying
That
to study,
sucks, dude.
and I remember passing out.
Yeah.
And then the only coming back to sort of like knowing, like sort of coming to, because the quinine, like I told you, kind of creates an aberrant heart rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
and my heart kind of fluttering. That's how I kind of woke up. And the other time is when I had the surgery for my appendectomy. I closed my eyes and opened them up. I'm still freaked out by that experience.
Oh crap! So I gotta tell you about my eye surgery. My first
You had a GA?
No, my first eye surgery.
Yeah. But my malaria story you found amazing, right?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, sure.
I got two
Sure,
more.
why
Right?
not?
He's rolling his eyes. ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, dude, it's the most interesting story I've heard. No, yeah, like that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Tell me
It
about your
is.
GA.
Yeah, I didn't know that you had malaria three fucking times.
Well, I still have it.
You still have malaria?
Well, the Vivax one. I never
Hey,
took
get
the
it.
Permacan.
Get the fuck away from me, dude.
I don't want to take it because
Jeez.
it's unlikely that he slowly is going away from me.
God damn it! I've been coming here for like
The
a
guy who's
month.
not
I've been
scared of
coming here for
COVID
a
is like-
month, and
Yeah.
he's got malaria.
Well, no, I don't have it actively.
Yeah, I'm joking, man.
Yeah, I just need you to be.
Well, I mean, I'm
aware.
trapped in a room with you 3 nights out of the week for 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you want to elaborate or no?
No.
Because you can't. Yeah. Just
No.
kidding. But it's for
No.
work. I just
Yeah.
want people to know.
Yeah, it's at work. No, it's not. It's not for work.
All right. Tell me about you, G.
So
Yeah.
when I had my first eye surgery,
Mm-hmm.
so what they do is like you have to be awake for eye surgeries.
Like brain surgery?
Yeah,
didn't know about that.
They want you awake. So what they do is they numb your eye.
Okay.
They put
So
you
it's
under.
a local anesthesia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So they put you under for like a split second so they can jam a needle into your eye to
What?
numb it, and then you come back out of it.
Uh-huh.
And my first eye surgery,
Okay.
the anesthesia wore off, so I could feel them cutting my eye. And
Good
I'm like,
Lord.
ow, 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 ow. So the anesthesia wore off. I could
But
feel
you
them.
were speaking it?
Yes,
Okay.
I was saying ow, and they're like, you can feel that, and I'm like, why the fuck would I be saying ow?
Yeah, but they're cutting it. It's
Yeah.
not ow. The reaction should be like, oh my
Well, no,
Lord.
like but before I could feel it. It was just pressure. It was just like
Yeah.
someone lightly pushing on my eye.
yeah.
That's
but
what it
started
felt like.
getting feeling
But then
like
I
pain.
could feel the cut. I could feel it because it wore off. So then they had to jam another needle into my eye while I was conscious
Yeah.
to renumb it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was so much pain, so much pain.
Good Lord. I mean, would you not rather have like malaria then? Than what you just,
You know what?
now that
I'll take the eye pain, dude.
malaria's
keep
not
your
that
keep your exotic diseases.
bad. It's not exotic. They're working on a vaccine right now, which appears to be successful.
Just now.
Well, yeah. Well, I should tell you that's the reason why. So I told you
Yeah.
the last medication they gave us was in the 70s,
Yeah,
and quinine just happens to work.
yeah,
There's another called artemether lumefantrine that was like another 22 decades ago or something.
yeah.
They don't need to work on it.
Yeah.
You guys don't have malaria here,
Yeah, we don't.
right?
I'm not,
Remember the thing that we talked about, the R&D taking billions of
I
dollars?
I can't recall any malaria outbreaks happening.
Well, they do have it in. So do you remember Zika?
The Zika virus, yeah,
Yeah. So that one was an issue for y'all.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to say for y'all because I'm American right now,
It was an
and I
issue
don't.
for-
I never
It
say
was
for
an
y'all.
issue for everybody, dude.
Zika is.
Yeah, it was a worldwide.
But did you see how quick they tamped down on
Oh
that?
fuck yeah!
Yeah.
That's how we do everything over here, man.
Oh my god.
We mobilized like the military and squashed that shit
Yeah.
like a terrorist sect.
And the
Except for-
100% efficacy rate of
Yeah.
treatment for Ebola.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm
I know
just
what
saying,
you're
bro. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
So I mean, so they can't figure out AIDS.
No,
No,
they probably can.
not AIDS, but HIV. Obviously,
They probably can.
exactly.
They probably can.
They just did actually. I mean, they just
I mean,
cured
there's
5
been-
people with the vaccine. You know
It's
about
not,
that, right?
It's not a death sentence anymore, which is
Well, we do have the ART, the antiretroviral treatment,
yeah.
and it's just as good in Africa as well.
Yeah.
I was responsible for the ART clinic. You can clearly see people getting better,
Yeah,
and their lifespan is comparable to a normal person.
yeah.
But I'm talking about curative
Yeah,
treatments,
yeah, yeah.
which they could do, by the way.
Well, dude,
And they were able to finally.
Well,
They just cured 5
first-
people.
first, dude, there's something we need to take care of. That's just
What's that?
it's been around forever. That
Cancer?
needs to be no,
Uh-huh.
fuck cancer, dude. The common cold, man.
Well, that actually happens to be more difficult because
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's just like this is the most common fucking disease, but we can't snuff that motherfucker out.
well, it's because it's like a tiny little tweak to a viral strain, and it's a whole new thing.
Well, dude, when I become president in 2024, on executive order,
I just would
Where-
like people to know.
I'm gonna start my attack on the common cold, folks. We'll get rid of it by
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah,
Common cold will be eradicated.
yeah. Not cancer.
All
not,
of our
not
milits-
Alzheimer.
no,
not
dude.
Parkinson's.
Not
None of
problems.
that.
These
Not-
aren't issues.
Not childhood cancer.
No, these aren't issues, man.
Yeah.
The common cold It has been a thorn in my side since the day I was born.
You see, you're speaking like a true politician, where your concern lies exactly where it doesn't need to be.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's perfect. You got it already.
I know, dude.
And I love that how
I'm
you
just
always
doing it to get elected. After that, I'll take care of cancer. But I can't run on that. I have to run on the common cold.
exactly.
That affects the everyman, dude.
Yes, true that affects more people, not the not the. And I like how you always make your presidential pitch after the second glass
Well, yeah.
of alcohol in your
Yeah.
system. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna be
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna run, dude.
president.
Yeah.
And it's like that thing you swing in front of me because perhaps because I can never be the president, even if I wanted to.
No.
No,
I'll make you VP, dude.
like Kamala,
Yeah.
and just be hated.
Yeah, you're my token black, dude. Fine.
Do you know historically if there's ever been like a ticket where the vice president was adored more? I'll edit that out because Chris is dying from choking right now. I might actually keep that in.
Yeah, keep it in. I don't care. I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe Al Gore.
Fuck Al Gore, man.
Like Al Gore.
He's an alarmist, dude. He just tries to keep people scared of shit.
I mean,
I mean,
it's a business model for them, actually.
Well, I mean, it's just like you remember Inconvenient Truth. We're supposed to be dead like fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah, they did speak in a ton of hyperboles there.
Yeah, I mean, he's very hyperbolic. I mean,
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
But they are coming out with the new data. I mean, we're not gonna lie about
No,
humans
I
having
mean,
substantial
obviously
influence
not,
on-
man. But like the
way the alarmist conversation is not really gonna help.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the like scarcity isn't a thing that it's not as prominent a thing because we just found a huge oil reserve in the fucking ground not too long ago.
Yeah, but in terms of whether or not finite versus infinite,
No,
it's
yeah,
finite.
it
still.
might
Yeah.
it might not be finite. I mean, it might not be infinite, but
It's not, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but we can't really calculate scarcity because we keep finding oil.
Yeah, but like you don't understand what I'm saying. People are looking into like 500,000
Yeah.
years into the
Oh
future,
yeah.
which you
We
don't
got
care
problems now, man.
about. Common cold, bro.
Yeah, common cold, dude. We got common cold on the table, man. We got problems now.
Not malaria, not cancer,
Yeah,
not
no,
not the
man,
dwindling
dude,
resource.
Malaria.
Forget that.
Get that out of here. I mean, you survived it 3 times, so I mean, it's fine.
Barely, dude.
I can barely survive the cold every year, dude.
Yeah, it's because you're weak ass lungs, dude.
It's my weak lungs, dude.
I think you've
I'm
got
fighting the good fight over here, dude.
Yes, you are.
But no,
You always do.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I think all this stuff is like, I mean, climate changes. Yeah, I mean, the effect that humans have on climate change,
Mhm.
it's a variable. We don't know how much or how little. To be
Mhm.
honest, we're not. No one's on 100% agreement on this, on how much we affect the environment. I'm not saying we don't affect the climate.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just saying I don't know what degree we do.
Yeah,
The climate changes. I mean, we've already had an ice age, and that was pre-humans.
technically, we're still in an ice age.
Well, I'm just saying there was like
Apparently.
a
Yeah.
huge ice age,
Yeah.
like where everything was frozen over,
Mm-hmm.
and there's been global warming.
Yeah.
I mean, the world's been pelted by comets before our existence. The
Mhm.
world has been through worse shit than us.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
and it's still here. It spent
Yeah.
millennia being just bombarded by comets.
I'm sure if a climate scientist heard this episode, they'd be just pulling their hair
Well,
out of their head. Right
I'm
now.
quoting this from
Yeah.
what's his name?
A climate scientist?
No, God, I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
I was just listening to him speak. No, the black physicist dude.
Who?
He's
Who
real
you-
famous. And he talks. He's on Joe Rogan.
Astrophysicist?
Yeah, astrophysicist.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yes, I couldn't think of his name.
Oh, it's okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Like his name was escaping me, but yeah, he said this stuff. The world's been through worse shit than us.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
Well,
like
he's referring to like cosmic events, like
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, those cosmic events have had more effect on climate change than we have.
Oh, for sure. In terms of actually restructuring evolution and sort
So,
of the
I
mass
mean-
extinctions that we've had,
Yeah.
it's not because of climate. It's for the most part. It's
Yeah.
because of like external stuff. Yeah, I mean, there are models that
this
predicted
the
a different
sea-
situation than we have right now.
Yeah.
So it does take away from the credibility. But like you said, we're not denying.
Well, these models have been spouted. Every time that model fails,
yeah.
we reach the timeline.
Mm.
They just come up with a new model. Oh, yeah, same thing, but just 10 more years. They just keep pushing the goalpost back, man.
Well, they're saying within the next 5 years, they do expect a massive change. We already see.
But they've been saying that since like the 70s.
Correct. I mean, so here's the thing, though. There is clearly
I know
worsening of and like longer hurricane seasons, worse hurricanes, tornadoes. However, to your point, we don't know how much of human sort of influence affected that change.
Yeah.
Because even if we weren't here, it's likely that the globe would have heated up.
I mean, we might have sped
degree.
it up or we might have slowed it down. We don't know.
Probably.
I mean,
there was one interesting
like
data
odds
about
we might have sped it up a bit. Like if I was a betting man, I say we have some impact on quote unquote the climate.
Yeah.
But our ozone, like that was the big
like
thing in the 80s,
quote
right?
unquote the climate.
Yeah. Like but the ozone was like the big thing in the 80s, right? The 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Was the ozone? The ozone layer's healed.
It's healing.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, that's largely due to CFC emission reductions. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we were building
but
every
we
fridge
corrected for it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't stop using oil. We can't.
So CFC is more of these chlorofluorocarbons they used to use in refrigerators.
About fucking cow farting and shit like that.
Methane. It's a greenhouse gas.
Yeah, it is, bro.
But water vapor is also, so yes.
I mean,
the science kind of falls on its face.
I mean that's nature, dude.
Yeah. Like
so if humans weren't here, right? You think cows would be a small population?
Yes.
Cows would be massive population.
Well, unlikely.
Because they wouldn't be slaughtered.
Well, no. But like, no. So we actually had to have this huge ranch and cattle ranch to actually mass produce them. So the idea is the amount of water it takes to grow a pound of meat.
Yeah.
And humans controlling the certain breed type, because nature finds a way of balancing for some reason. I don't think that we'll have as many livestock, if humans weren't around. That I'm sure. What I cannot tell you is a cause effect.
Population control, but like look at what happens with certain species that they increase hunting on because they have to be the population has to be
reduced. Yeah.
Yeah. Nature doesn't take it. We're the control for that.
Sometimes, yes. In some situations, correct. But it's
because,
usually you can trace back human.
Invasive species are dominant, man, and they eradicate other species
for sure,
like insects and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Burmese python in Florida, just wiping out everything.
Yeah,
but that's humans first introducing the pythons.
It shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be here. But yeah,
I'm terrified of snakes. Have I ever told you that?
Yeah, you told me when your neighbor told you about the coral snakes.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
There's one right there, dude.
Yeah, I've actually made an illegal U-turn on a one-way road
because of a snake.
Because there was a dead one.
A dead snake.
A dead snake.
And you freaked out and
I stopped the car.
There's snakes that way.
I'm like, nope.
Not today. Not today, snakes.
I remember me and my dad, if you hear this, I'm sorry. You're a strong man. I love you. So, including like rats and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one that I don't know how he got it. So I'm telling you about stuff in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Me and my dad just holding our like skirts up on a couch, just screaming. And I remember my mom just chasing this ginormous rat with a broom.
So
I
did something fucked up to my mom.
What did you do?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I was like a kid.
Does she know about this?
Oh yeah, she knows.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Tell me secrets, dude.
I scared the shit out of her. I love you, Mom, but
yeah.
I'm
sure you're.
So she had this nightmare that me and my brother were fighting off like just wave after wave of snakes, right? So she had this nightmare.
So in her dream is okay.
It was a dream.
Uh-huh.
So my brother had this realistic rubber snake.
Oh.
And my mom. This is back when we had TV guides. So if you don't know what a TV guide is, it was a.
What is that?
It was like a pamphlet that had like all the programming for like the week.
Like in a plane?
Cable. Yeah.
Like in planes and hotels?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like printed out. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's kind of like the media, like the menu now.
Like a catalog of
yeah, it was like
shows
a
and
catalog,
stuff,
so
yeah.
you could see what shows you wanted to watch and
Mhm.
when they were on.
Mhm.
So she was looking at the TV guide in the room that was next to her, and I knew she wasn't gonna look away from the TV guide to grab the remote. She was gonna do the pat,
Yeah.
you know, the sidewards
Ooh,
pat.
Yeah.
So I put the snake on the remote when she wasn't like she was really into the TV guide.
Beautiful delivery.
And I had left the room because she wasn't grabbing it. I was
Yeah.
just like, God, man, she's never gonna do it.
yeah.
So I left the room.
Mom is just not
Yeah,
fun.
she's just not gonna
Come
fucking
on.
get the prank. And then I leave the room, and then I hear a shriek.
Aw.
And we had two couches that were really good distance away
Yeah,
from each other.
yeah.
Like, and she had flown
Left it.
from the main couch to the love seat on the other side of the room, and because I ran right back in there,
Yeah.
to, like
Did I
with a
get
big
you?
smile on
Yeah.
my face, and she
Your
got
mom
so
was just
mad,
mortified.
so mad at me.
yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. But I guess the smile on your face right now says
I got
it's
the
worth it.
I got the broom. I got the broom that day.
Oh,
No,
you deserved it.
yeah, I did. I
It's
deserved
much
it. But it
deserved.
was funny. It was fucking funny.
Yeah, it does.
I got a
sound
kick
funny.
out of it. She didn't, but I did.
Well, that's how it works. Sometimes the victim
Yeah.
would have to take a.
It's like when I scared nurses at the hospital.
You did.
Oh yeah, with the Smeagol voice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if I want to debut that voice on this episode, but we might as well.
Yeah.
But Chris can do a
passable Gollum.
pretty not passable,
It's
dude.
passable.
I think it's pretty awesome. I don't want to sort of build up the pressure on you, but you do a really good Smeagol.
It's all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you.
Yeah, one day I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you do a bunch. Maybe like an intro.
I'll do the entire podcast as
Smeagol.
Smeagol.
Yeah, you're not gonna have a voice by the end of it.
Oh no!
Doesn't it take for you?
No, that one doesn't hurt my throat that much. It sounds like it might,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
Is it Elmo?
I can't. I don't think I
forgot
can do
Elmo.
the Elmo anymore.
Yeah,
I
that's
used to
called
be able to do
cultural
Elmo.
appropriation because the guy is black.
I'm sorry, dude.
Elmo's
Well,
Elmo's
Elmo's
voice?
red, sir.
so he's Native American.
according to
Can we say
according
that?
to-
I don't know.
according to his fur color.
Yeah, he's red. He's the red people.
But yeah, he's I used to be able to do that. I used to give inmates orders in the Elmo voice.
Elmo voice. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Tell them to
Yeah.
line up for count time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if that was that was a kink or
my
whatever.
Uncle Brad can do Kermit the Frog really good.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
like spot on Kermit the Frog.
Damn,
Yeah,
your
I
uncle's cool. Maybe we should have him
Yeah.
over, dude.
Well, yeah,
Sometime.
he lives
Does
in
he
New
visit
York.
Texas? Maybe.
No, he lives in New York. He lives in upstate New York.
Does he want to visit sometime?
And if he ever did, yeah, we can get him on the podcast.
Yeah, just
I
hang
mean,
out.
Dylan's coming on
Yeah,
in the fall.
yeah, and I'll have
And if those who don't know who Dylan is, he's Joe Exotic's third husband.
yeah. Were they married? I never knew.
They were married.
Yeah.
It was fast, man.
Well, yeah.
Like he went to Oklahoma, and then like a month later, he's married, and we're like, what the fuck?
yeah. Well, he's young.
Yeah.
Just maybe just in the moment, you know.
Yeah, well,
I'm
it's
pretty
just-
sure
it's
he
just
thought
like,
it was a
well, it's
great
like he wasn't
idea.
talking to anybody, so it's just like we got over there a month later, just
Yeah.
married to a dude, and we're like, who the hell,
Yeah.
is this guy? And
But
then
you guys were supportive, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
you had to be.
My brother.
Yeah.
I mean, look out for him. But Dylan just got engaged though.
Hey,
to his
congrats,
his
Dylan.
new guy, yeah. So congrats to my baby brother Dylan.
Yes, sir. Yep, we're happy for you. I've heard the good news as well.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of the ring. The ring looks fucking badass though.
Yeah.
His engagement ring, yeah. Did
Uh-huh.
I show you?
Was it like a sapphire kind of
It was
situation?
like red. It was like ruby. It was like black on the outside with
ruby,
the
okay.
red center.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks really
Dude,
fucking cool.
gay people know.
I'll show you. I'll show
Good
it to you.
shit.
Man. Yeah, I'll show it to you after the podcast.
Have you noticed that though? Even in terms of gifts and stuff,
Yeah,
they just know, dude. They just know
Yeah.
what's cool. Yeah.
yeah. But Dylan's gonna come on the podcast in the fall, and then we got some other people who want to come on.
Yeah, you don't want to commit him to a date though.
Yeah, we don't know.
If he
He's
can.
just gonna be here sometime in the fall.
Yes, sir.
I don't know exactly when.
It'll be fascinating to talk to him. I've got so many questions for
Yeah,
him.
about how he was a little asshole when we were growing up.
You don't mean that. You love your brother.
I love him, but he was a little. He knows he was a little asshole.
I'm sure he has things to say about you as well. So,
Oh yeah, I mean I was a dick.
oh yeah,
I mean that's how siblings are to each other.
I think that's how brothers are to each other, right?
I mean, we're like that to our sister too.
Damn.
Just had to put up with some shit.
Did you ganged up on her kind of situation?
No, we didn't like roughhouse with her.
Yeah.
But no, we were like, we'd be assholes too. Like she was afraid of crickets. We put crickets in her room.
Oh God.
Just terrified of them.
So it's a running theme in your life where you just terrified.
Well, we were trying. You know, we were trying to help, man. You know, you got to face your fears. If you're afraid of crickets, dude, just face those crickets.
Yeah. And you're like, I died.
Yeah, I died. I died. Okay. You can face a cricket.
Yeah. I love that.
No, I don't think she's afraid of crickets anymore, though. Probably because we shoved so many in her damn room.
Well, they do say exposure is the best
Yeah.
treatment.
Yeah.
For do you have any phobias right now? Active phobias?
Height.
Height?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I fell from a roof when I was young,
God.
and that's like the only thing I'm really afraid of. Like anything else, I'm like, yeah,
The dark?
no,
Claustrophobia?
no,
No.
not really.
Claustrophobia appears to be mine. I'm not.
So I can just come at you with like a pillow, and you're just gonna freak the fuck out.
So like tight spaces, right?
Oh yeah.
You with a pillow would be
Dude, you
fun time.
You would have hated our old room then.
I would grab another pillow. It's gonna be a pillow fight.
No, like you would have hated our old room at work because I was like, it was smaller. Than
I
this.
can't do that.
Yeah.
One of mine, I don't dream for some reason. I haven't had a dream since 9th grade, at least not one that I could remember.
Yeah.
But one of the nightmares that I recall is falling into a kind of chute,
Yeah.
which progressively gets thinner.
Like being
smaller.
buried alive is probably like a huge nightmare.
That's not people. This cave people that go into caves that are tiny,
Yeah.
like just pushing away tarantulas with their fucking nose, because there's barely no room.
Yeah.
That I can't watch more than 5 seconds of that video. I literally get closer,
Yeah.
and I understand it's psychogenic. I could maybe try to breathe through it and stuff like that, but I don't even want to. I'm not willing to work on this. I'm done.
I'll help you, brother.
What
I'll help you.
if I die
I'll help you push through.
in a very suspicious way, especially where it seems like
If
I'm
it's I'm not gonna.
enclosed.
No, I'm saying I'll watch the thing with you. I'll be your support system.
Oh, you're just gonna hold my hand?
Yeah, I'll hold your hand, brother.
That's kind of friend I have, y'all. I hope you have a friend like that too. My brother, it was awesome to talk to you.
Yeah, man. It's always good. It's always a good chat.
What did the episode feel like? How did you feel about this episode?
Dude, you blindsided me.
Yeah.
Like generally what we do is like we spend the week coming up with a topic,
Yeah.
and then we're like, all right, that's the topic. And then we kind of do research, and then we fucked up the last episode, so we had to redo it. So we're like, we're going to do 2 this week. And we're like, so what do you want the second topic to be? He's like, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you. I was like, oh, God, I can't do research.
And you're a good sport because, first of all,
can't do
you allowed for it to happen, and two,
Well, I mean, yeah.
yeah. But I just wanted to be like a lighthearted episode, but I also wanted to give at least half the moment to that character that we talked about, because I think it's something that people would appreciate. I think your friends and family probably noticed that in you as well, especially your wife.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't-
people
I
do.
mean, before you, man, I've never even really thought about it.
No, I noticed it immediately.
Well, I mean, like, I never thought about it, like, because my parents never said anything, and, like, my friends and family never have.
Well, they see you every day.
But
you
it's
know.
just, so it's like when you
Yeah.
said something, I was like, is it really a big deal?
You remember the last thing that when you lost your earphones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. So he loses this pretty expensive. I mean, they're not like some cheap Chinese stuff. He lost, I don't know, kind of Samsung
the
earbuds. or whatever.
Samsung Pro Buds.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I think I might have lost them.
Yeah, I think they fell out of my bag.
And he got another one for the next day. Now, he's not really like sort of, you're not belittling the value that you lost.
No,
you're saying
no.
you're like, it's a shame,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Like, and I was upset more so than he was. And he found that amusing. I was like, I gotta get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like, it fucking happened.
Yeah.
You drop earbuds, and
Yeah.
they're expensive.
Mm.
Like, someone's gonna take them. It just
Yeah.
fucking happens. It sucks.
Yeah.
I went and I called Lost and Found. They didn't have them, so I was like, yeah, they're probably gone.
But this is like a super material thing, but it's also about other things as well. So I wanted to give you your roses in a sense.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. It was lovely talking to you, brother. Where can people listen to our podcast, bro?
We
Let 'em
are
know.
on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Too. iHeartRadio. Pretty much anywhere you can listen to your podcast except for on Apple. Still getting sorted out with them.
And the blocked accounts on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we're
up?
still blocked. We haven't heard back from our people on Facebook or Instagram yet, but you can follow us on Twitter at a barely podcast, and we'll see you guys next week.
Hallelujah, bro. You're gonna share that Jack Daniel, bro.